Hi, Jude Brace with UAM Football. We're sitting here with Coach Jackson. Coach, let's go ahead and look at last week's game. And what was it that led to the team having such a decisive victory over Arkansas Tech?
I think we played to close to 60 minutes as we've done all year. I think the Northwest Oklahoma game was another one, and really we probably played 30 minutes in that game. But this game we played really well on both sides of the football and played a lot better in special teams. So I think that, like I've been stressing, as you know, you've been hearing it, is that the more that you can play 60 minutes, the better chance you have, obviously, of putting a complete game together. And I think that had a lot to do with us having the success we did this past Saturday.
So, how do you keep the momentum sustained from last week's game going into this week's game against Southern Nass?
And I guess this has sort of become something of a characteristic of our football teams here, is that our guys, good or bad, our guys have a tendency to really just focus in on the next game. I mean, even after that game was over Saturday night, while we were in the locker room celebrating, obviously very happy, I heard some of our guys saying, "Hey, we got to get ready to go at it again tomorrow night. Time to get ready for the next one." And when you have guys that are in leadership roles that are saying that, your players have a tendency to step into that idea of that's what we got to do. So it's pretty easy, honestly. It's and we get right back after it today, the day after a game, with us practicing on Sunday. And our guys are off on Monday. It sort of helps us a little bit. It gets us into that mindset really quick, and so that helps. But it's when you win, it's easy too to also push guys to get there. So our guys were excited, but I think, like I said, that mindset that some of our leaders do have, and it sort of drags our other guys with them.
Yeah, I think you could tell from Sunday night, right away, guys were looking to get better at different things. They weren't sitting back fat and happy from the win the day before. They're already on to the next one. Yeah,
and that's what it's got to be. I mean, you just, obviously you want to enjoy. It's usually about a 24-hour rule, and then you got to move on. And so, look, it was great practice Sunday, so that proved to us that we're ready to move to the next one.
So one of the things I kept hearing all week, from all the coaches and all the players who had played Southern Nass before, is that they are such hard workers. How do you come into a game and prepare for a team that is going to come out there and going to give it their all? They're not going to let up, even if they're shorter or they're slower or anything. I've just heard all week that it's hard-working guys.
Well, first off, Coach Lambert and the staff do a tremendous job with his football team. And again, I want to stress this point, that because what our conference is about, no matter if somebody, we're 2-4, and there's a lot of teams that are sitting with records that are actually similar to ours. Look, our conference is tough. It's a tough conference to play in. We have a bunch of good football teams in it. Any given Saturday, anybody can beat anybody. And the thing about, the comparison between our two programs, because of the type of players that we have between Southern Nass and us, is that our guys work extremely hard. Our guys play extremely hard. Our guys believe in the system that we have, and they run it really well. And they do everything with high effort. And that's what you always see with Coach Lambert and his football teams, is that guys are going to get after it. Look, the last 3 games that they have played, they have gotten better with each game. I mean, this past weekend they played Southern Arkansas and played them tough in Magnolia. So it was a great game by Southern Nass, and those guys are really close to getting, turning that corner like we talk about here. So it's a game that we're very, very concerned about. They came to us last year, and we were fortunate to get a win. 2 years ago we went there, and they beat us. And so I think it's a tough place to play, and I think it's one of those games that, like we did this week, continue to stress. And our players know that we're not taking anybody lightly. Again, we're not that kind of football team to do that. So we got a lot of respect for Southern Nass, and we know that this is going to be a really good game on Saturday.
Okay, so what are the biggest points of emphasis for this week?
Well, again, attention to detail. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we got to continue to stress, and I think all of our coaches, our coordinators in particular, have sent that message both offensively and defensively. In special teams, it's something that we've been continually working on. We've always believed in our scheme. Special teams wise, it's about finding the right people to do it too. So, and we got better at that. And unfortunately, this week we have an indoor facility we're able to practice in, and we've had to be inside 2 days. Then this morning we were able to get out at 5:30. Again, very grateful to Monticello High and Blair Brown for allowing us to use their facilities. But being inside always concern you, whether or not you're going to get what you need to get in. And from a special teams aspect, it's something that bothers you because you don't get that full field look that you need to have. So, again, attention to details, making sure guys understand what their responsibilities are, especially Southern Naz with what they do offensively. It's different offensively, and you've got to make sure you understand what your job is and do your job. And defensively, what they do is something that a lot of people don't do, with 3 down on defense. And so, that causes some problems also. So it's got to be a very, very detail-driven week, which I think we've had. And this game's going to be a very detail-driven game. And if we can do that, that's going to give us our best chance to have some success.
Okay. So, 5th and final question. If you could be any fictional character, who would you be?
Don Corleone, Godfather. That would be the best character I could be, because I know it's a little crazy, but that's all I like the guy.
All right, well, that's all the questions we got for this week, Coach. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jude.
Now we'll welcome on senior running back Nigel Dora. Nigel, how are you?
Living the dream, bro. Going to Hollywood.
So, looking to last week, what did the offense do that you think that really got them back on track, finding success again?
One thing I could say is we attacked the week. That's a big thing. We practiced hard, and that carried over to the game to me. And the biggest success was the receivers, actually. They caught the ball. They made the running backs' jobs easy, and they made Cole's job easy, real easy. The O-line, they're the heart and soul of they're the trenches. But them big boys, they helped us out a lot because they made the holes happen. They held on to their blocks long enough for Cole to throw the ball. So it's so many things, but we all had each other backs. That's how we look at it. Coach Ship preached about having defense back, having offensive line back, just having the special teams back, having everybody back, and that's the main thing, having each other's back, and that's what we did.
This season, what's been the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge for me will have to be during camp. I was a very vocal leader, but when it came to the season, I've been kind of laid back instead of speaking my mind with some people. But it's just the fact that, me and Coach, we talk about it a lot. I have to feel comfortable with it because I haven't been getting that many snaps, but that's the game of football. You have to be a leader some way, somehow, and that's my role. I'm a leader of this team. I don't want nobody we might have a situation where people are down. I don't want nobody getting down. We got to lift each other up. We have to attack, like I said before, attack it head on, and that's how we get better and stuff. But other than that, it's just me being a leader. That's the toughest thing.
So being an authentic leader is pretty important. It's probably even worse for the team if someone's like a fake leader, and they don't. You can tell right away that they're saying to work hard, they're not working hard. It's that kind of thing. So I agree with you. It's an important thing. And it is a challenge. You don't want to come off as forced. Yelling when you don't really think you should be yelling. That kind of thing.
That's right.
Looking at this week, Southern Naz, what are some of the things that their defense presents as a challenge, or maybe their team as a whole presents as a challenge to us?
They play hard. These boys, they love their coach. They play for their coach. They do anything for them. So they're gonna play. They're a lot smaller than the normal defenses we play, but from watching film, they play hard and they get out there every snap. And for us, the way that we're gonna have to beat this team is really to outplay them, outwork hard, outwork them. Because if we come in just like we did last week, fire, hit them with haymakers, jabs and all that stuff, it's like UFC, it's like the octagon. Once you do that first hit, you're gonna see, should I back up or should I keep hitting them? And that's how I look at it. We get in the octagon, we close the gate, and we're gonna see if these dudes are really Matt Hughes or somebody else, But that's how I'm looking at it. But you gotta outwork them.
What did the offense focus on in particular this week?
This week, our main focus is really getting back to our run game. Because, we kind of been off of it, then again, we haven't. But our biggest focus is running the ball, making sure running backs push their gap, hit the hole right, and make sure we block well for Cole and for the receivers before they get the ball, too. Because, like I said before, the receivers there are a big factor and all that stuff. So Coach Hill, he's been on the line. Coach Ship and Coach Jackson, he's been on us about blocking and all that stuff. Really, this week is all about the run game and the blocking, in my eyes.
Okay, very important. Yeah. I think that's come up every week is keeping Cole upright is probably the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the
biggest question. If you could be any fictional character, who would you be and why? Or what would you be and why?
If I could be a fictional character, they're kind of fictional. The Power Rangers, I always wanted to be the White Ranger, like Tommy Oliver on Power Rangers. I tell my girlfriend that I'm gonna have, whenever we have our first son, make sure he has long hair and stuff. And I'm gonna name him. Probably his nickname is gonna be T.O. for Tommy Oliver. So even though I'm not gonna name him nowhere close to that. So.
Why him? Of all?
I thought it was cool. He's a white dude. He's a white guy with long hair, freaking kicking people. Had the little shield thing. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever growing up.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, that's all the questions we got. Thank you.
thank you, my brother.
Now we welcome on junior linebacker Deontae Haynes, also known as Bama. Not a lot of guys know you that well outside of football. So explain, your story, how you got here, high school, JUCO,
I played my freshman and sophomore year in Alabama at Oak Mountain High School. Ended up moving to Oak Grove in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Played 2 years there, so I ended up signing with Gulf Coast. Played 2 years there, had some things happen, and then I ended up coming here to UAM. So came here in January, and when I came here, I was just I was just confused, I was just kind of guy that was just trying to get used to the program. I'm just new, I'm not used to how things work here. This is a team that works real hard, so it's something I had to adjust to. So came through here, came through the spring, ended up having a real productive spring. So now I'm here and just trying to be the best productive person I can be on and off the field.
So you said you went 2 years in Alabama. Is that why your nickname is Bama? Is just from those 2 years?
When I moved to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, my coach at Oak Grove, my position coach, he couldn't really say my name. He didn't he could never get my name right. So he was like, you know what, your nickname's Bama, and it just stuck. And then when people came to recruit me and stuff, they would just introduce me as that. So that's how it is, and it's been like that
since.
Since then.
So what's been your favorite part about being at UAM? What's the best thing, about UAM to you?
Probably just the connection we got with, I got and everybody else got with just everybody and the coaches. How the coaches can just be cool outside of football as well. How I can connect with the coaches. I can go to any coach and ask them about anything. I can go to Coach Drago, ask him about anything. Coach Walker, Coach Bailey, Coach Jackson. Even the offensive coaches, I can go and talk to them about anything because that's just the connection I got with them. And the thing is, I had that connection with them before I even came, and when I was recruited, I just had that family type atmosphere, which is part of the reason why I came here. So that's probably the best thing when it comes to that.
It's not because of the food or the big city life and all that.
I don't know about
that. So, looking to this week, what do you think is the biggest challenge that Southern NAS presents?
Well, this team is kind of like hardened a little bit. You know, they run some plays that manipulate your eyes, and they want you to be misaligned and not play your assignment so they can, you know, gas you. You know, it's a team that likes to run the ball. So I think our biggest thing is just to play our assignment and play our keys. Play our assignment, play our keys, we win the game.
You know, what's been the biggest focus for the defense this week? You know, we've strung together a few really good weeks. You know, outside of maybe 2 games, we've played real well. You know, so what is the biggest focus going into this game?
I think just to keep going what we've been doing. I mean, last week we played real good, I believe. Besides a couple of plays and a couple of miscommunications we played pretty good. So I feel like, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. We've been focused. Just keep doing what we're doing. Stay focused. Stay locked in, and we do that. And then listen to the coaching. Take coaching real well, and listen to what our coaches are telling us, because our coaches put together a great game plan. So if we listen to that game plan, we'll be successful for any game.
If you could be any fictional character, who would you be and why? From a movie, from a book, TV show?
Man, I'll probably have to go with Superman, because, like, even when I was a little kid, I used to just like Superman. Even sometimes in high school, I used to wear Superman socks. I had like the little socks. They had home right now. I used to have the Superman socks with the little cape on them. So Superman is my favorite character, because I mean, he's just invincible, and that's just.
You think of yourself as invincible?
I don't know if I'm invincible like Superman, but I wish I was.
Well, that's all we got. You know, thank you for coming on, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.